Welcome to FemFlex Friday. I'm Lenda Murray, along with Alina Popa, and we have an exciting show. Joining us, two professional IFBB Professional League pro champions, and Julia Föry and Sheena Ohlig. Julie, you're joining us all the way from Switzerland, and yes. Well, welcome. And the topic today, what's so interesting, both women physique competitors, and this year transitioning into women bodybuilders. They're going to join us.
Yep, I'm very excited to know how you girls are going to do this.
Yay!
Yeah, I just want to quickly add that both of you have been chosen this year to be Wings of Strength's brand ambassadors. So welcome to our team as well. We're looking forward to see Julia for the first year switching over.
Yes. And I remember seeing
really
you.
A pleasure, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
To be
Thank
here.
you. Two great candidates. I'm really excited about each of you joining the ranks of women bodybuilders. Excellent representatives and very welcomed.
Julia, when did you turn pro?
So it took me a while. I turned pro in 2019 in the Olympia Amateur in Vegas.
Okay. Yep.
And it's kind of a detail, but it's going to be my first pro show too.
Yes, I remember you turned pro in the Physique division, right?
Yeah.
And then you were saying that you wanted to make your debut in the Physique division last year, but COVID happened, so you decided to lift, and then accidentally you turned into the bodybuilding division.
No. It was, since a long time. Female bodybuilding is I fell in love with it a long time ago, and I just wanted to see how I look next to the Physique pros. That's why I was prepping for a show. And as COVID came, I decided to just take the whole year off and go fully for bodybuilding.
And that's what we're going to see the results of this year.
Yes.
How about you, Sheena? Where did you turn pro?
I turned pro in 2012 at Junior USA's.
Okay.
Wow,
And
2012 you turned pro.
2012.
Yeah, you've been a pro for a while.
For a little while, yeah. I actually took a small sort of detour from competing because I had a couple injuries and, just things that I had to get fixed. And I finally went under the knife. I had a huge, a major hip reconstruction surgery.
Wow.
So it took me a few years to recover from that. So I was off of the circuit for about 5 years.
Yeah, that was, I wanted to ask you about that, and then you already answered. I was like, why did you take such a long break?
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember the show. We sat in the audience looking at Sheena and thought, wow, make a great transition into women's bodybuilding, because we're always looking for new candidates,
Yes.
And yeah, so and I think we had a brief conversation, right, Sheena? Didn't we have a conversation in regards to that transition?
Yeah, I can't tell you how big of an impact that made, on me and my decision to move forward into women's bodybuilding. It was really just an honor that I was able to get feedback from you two. So, I definitely took it to heart, and I made the transition after some serious considerations and taking everything that you guys said into consideration. And with my coach, Trey Hodge, he just said that it was probably the best move he could see, where I would fit in with the other girls and the competitors, and really where sort of the look of the division was going. So I took that leap of faith and I made that jump.
Yeah.
Because I know that you, again, I already said that you competed in Chicago Pro. I think you got 9th last place, right, in the female bodybuilding division. But you were saying that you have about 20 pounds more on your frame right now in the off season than you used to have as a physique competitor, right?
That's right. My body responds so well to training, to lifting, to resistance training. that in conversation with Trey, we really figured out that, I was sort of holding myself back from reaching my fullest potential in all of the dieting and the cardio and all of the things that you have to do to maintain that look, that specific like niche look for women's physique.
Correct.
And I have an extensive athletic history. So I've been an athlete since I was a kid. So sort of we took the brakes off and just let my body roll. So yeah, I'm considerably heavier than I was maintaining in all of my years in physique.
I'm loving it. Julia, how about you? What's your off-season weight right now?
Well, we were pretty much peaking at, I don't know in pounds, it was 103 kilograms.
That's 220 pounds.
Get it, girl.
She said,
How
"Get it,
tall
girl."
are you?
I think it's 5'7". It's 172 centimeters.
Oh wow, 5'7", 220 pounds. I'm excited to see that shredded.
Yes.
Well, right now I'm down at 99 kilograms now. So I mean, it was off season, obviously. So.
It looks like you did your homework, but I want to throw you back a little bit in time. When you started as a female bodybuilder, did your family support you?
Me?
Yes.
Well, I have to say, part of my family did, you know Switzerland, right? So,
Yes.
I really broke up with part of my family because they wouldn't understand. And
Oh,
wouldn't
really?
understand. Yes. But for me, that was I was okay because over the year competing and doing this, I learned that this is me. This is how I feel confident and feminine and everything. And yeah, so
That's how you want to express it, your femininity and
yes, for me it's just I feel confident like this, and like you said, feminine, and it's just me. Yes.
I love it. For you guys out there, I met Julia, I think in 2011 is when I moved from Switzerland to United States, and you were barely starting to lift weights. I remember you came in the gym with your boyfriend at a time, and you were already quite jacked at that time too.
She was jacked.
I remember so good. I mean, that was, I told you already, kind of, that was a key moment for me because I've always been fan, obviously, and because people around and my boyfriend knew you and stuff. And when I saw you, I came over with my lifting belt.
I remember you wanted me to sign your belt.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
So
how
that
about
was,
moving over, Sheena? What kind of gym do you train in? Is there a big bodybuilding community that supports you? Do you feel supported in your community there?
It's so funny that you asked that because in New Jersey, and that's where I'm at the moment. I'm in New Jersey. Literally, I'm outside of my windows. I'm looking at the bridge that goes over to Philadelphia. So,
Okay.
In New Jersey, I'm not sure if you followed the news. Just a lot of things going on. But the gym that I train at has been in the news a lot lately because they stayed open in defiance of the executive orders during the shutdown.
Wow, really?
Yeah, in 2020. And they shut down initially, for the initial like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. And then the owners took a stand and, just said that it was the right thing to do. They put in so many different measures to keep people safe and healthy. So I fortunately was lucky to have a gym to train at. And it is one of the biggest gyms and well-known gyms here in Jersey and South Jersey for bodybuilding, for power training, strength training. So I was fortunate in that regard. And
What's the name?
all the guys there are very supportive.
What's the name of the gym?
Attilis Gym in Belmar.
Yes.
Okay.
So then it's been a little bit easier to train in 2021 with COVID restrictions. Do you find that it's easier?
Sure.
This will be
Easier to
easier.
do because
Okay.
Because of access, as someone from a big family, it wasn't necessarily an easy decision because I had to consider, my family and the people that I was around, making sure that I was making the right decision to be able to stay in contact with them. My mother, she's, ill, and it's not an easy decision to say, okay,
Wow.
do I go to the gym? Do I go see my mom? How do I stay connected. But my family overall has been very supportive, and my mom is like my number one fan. So she's always been supportive and encouraging.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So that's
fun. Yeah, so I mean, and you know, Julia, as like I'm 5'7" as well. So as a female with like a bigger stature, I wouldn't say, you know, we're like huge because we're not super tall, but it's interesting to see the difference between how parents of girls who are maybe a little more fragile and petite treat girls who, you know, have always had that sort of larger than life demeanor. Even as a kid growing up, I was very, I guess, you know, rambunctious, jumping off the couches.
Very interesting point to make.
What was your heaviest weight this off season, Sheena?
198.
Wow.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you guys are perfect
5'7"
for women's bodybuilding.
Right
You know, and this is an example when I think about your structures, both of you 5'7", and not being the typical female weighing, you know, wearing a size 2 or being, you know, 100 and I don't know what's supposed to be the best weight, 135 and lower. What's really great about this is the fact that I've always said to people when it comes to women's bodybuilding, and when I look at women's physique and how you guys competing in women's physique, how that really allowed women to be comfortable with bodybuilding, like to transition into bodybuilding. Your physiques are perfect for that at 5'7", and putting on that muscle, and look at you, you're beautiful, both of you. So this is an example of the fact that beauty and athleticism runs from bikini to women's bodybuilding.
For sure.
Definitely.
I've always been attracted to strength, so
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that bodybuilding and strength and power and muscle is strictly reserved for men. Unfortunately, that's the conditioning that we've received as women, you know, as girls.
Yeah, I know, but we're changing it, girl. We are.
Yes, that's right.
And you guys are amazing, so we have you guys to thank for that. So
Yeah.
it's going to be more of an honor.
And we're going to be right back after this commercial with a question for Julia.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
And we're back. Julia, I want to know exactly what was the difference in the gym, in the way you lifted when you decided to switch to bodybuilding as opposed to being a physique competitor? Like in terms of sets, of reps, of weights, tell us everything about it.
Well, I have to say, for me, one of the big decisions was just to keep going like I like to train, because I love training. I love training heavy, and I love training, you know, just excessively. But it's funny because when it comes to the transition, I had to pay more attention on details. So instead of just throwing around more weight, I had to break it down a little bit and work more on details, seriously. Like because I used to lift heavy ever since, because of my ex-boyfriend and stuff. And
Who was
now,
a bodybuilder, right?
Yes. And when I started, I just kind of grew into it with that kind of training, and I love it. But yeah, it's more detail work. Seriously, like I split more, and I also do more supersets. I work a lot with supersets, drop sets, just to keep, you know, the blood flow really there where I want it, not just heavy.
So by the sound of it, you're focusing more on technique as opposed to weight, right?
Yes.
What's your rep range?
I'm repping, it depends a little bit what muscle group, but normally it's in between. It also depends on which set. I do warm-up sets, and for my work sets, it's in between 8 to 10, or other muscle groups, 12 to 15. Yeah.
And you are coached You're coached by Brandon Ray, right?
Yes, I'm working now with Brandon, and he's great. He also convinced me to pay more attention on these details and technique.
Yeah, because in the end of the day, it's very important on stage, on our density and our conditioning, of course.
Definitely, yeah.
Sheena, you said you work with Trey Hodge, right?
That's right.
He's also, isn't he Monique Jones trainer as well?
He's Monique Jones, yeah, and then Olivia too, women's physique competitor. So
Tell me about your diet. How did it change when you decided to compete in a bodybuilding class?
So to be honest, he just fed me more. My carb content, whereas before I was around 5 meals a day, where the last 2 meals wouldn't have carbs in it. It would be sort of like protein and veggies for the last 2 meals a day. Right now we're going 6 meals, and every meal of the day has carbs in it. I think except for the last meal of the day. And my carb content we're doing white rice right now just because it works the best with my body, and I feel like I process it pretty easily. We're about like 120 grams of carbs in each meal.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's because I needed to sort of bring up my size. When I competed in Chicago, I had been prepping for women's physique. I had been literally didn't make the switch until 3 days before the show. So I was on the smaller end of the girls.
Yeah.
And when I stood up there next to the girls, I was like,
yeah, it must be really nice to not have the restrictions now, not to put yourself in a box.
That's true. Night and day, especially because I can now really eat to fuel the body, and I've been able to lift in a way that feels like strong and powerful, empowering. And, it really does make a difference on the rep ranges and the sets. And if you're doing splits or drops, like Joey was saying, some muscle groups where you have to bring it up, maybe you're lifting 8 to 10 reps. The other groups where maybe you just have to define and create that density, maybe you're doing that 12 to 15 rep range. So one of my goal areas are to bring up my legs a little bit more.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask. Yeah. What do you want to improve for this season in bodybuilding?
Definitely my legs. I'm bringing up sort of the roundness in my legs, and then the sort of 3D effect in my back. The density shape in my back.
Julia, do you get tired of so much food in the off season?
No.
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 That was one of my problems. That's why I ask every female bodybuilder. I was like, I was done eating at some point.
Yeah.
So you can still eat as much as you want.
Well, it's not as much as I want. I mean, of course, because I have a diet which contains a lot of still carbs right now, of course. But for me, it's kind of cool because I was always running on zero or low carb stuff, for physique, and so it's like you said before, it's really cool to see the body really fueling for just great training. That's for me, that's something new to eat like this, but I enjoy it. So because it has an impact on the training, definitely.
Oh yeah. Definitely, you feel that extra energy when you get in there and you have to push some heavy weight around, right?
Sure.
Sheena, I know you used to be a track and field athlete, right? So what actually, I'm really curious to know what made you decide that you want to go for this look, like the muscular look, right? It's not just athletic, it's the muscular look.
Sure. So I was always attracted to the gym, or like the lifting. Like I started lifting weights probably 17 years old in my high school. And our athletic trainer, he was very knowledgeable, Tom Connors. Shout out to Tom Connors, been talking. He was very knowledgeable of training and strength and all that kind of stuff. And I think he instilled that sort of love for training really hard. But I hate to say this, but I had no idea that like bodybuilding as a sport existed probably until about 2005, 2006.
Okay.
Wow.
And the whole sort of transition into competing really came off of a dare. One of my sorority sisters dared me to do this local show. She was like, oh, you could probably do that. I saw this flyer, you could do that. And I decided to do it. You guys, I jumped into a show, it was like maybe 4 or 5 weeks out. I ordered like a crushed velvet bikini offline. And I knew what I was doing. And I jumped on stage. All I did was like cut carbs and like ran some extra miles like to prep. I had no idea. And I literally got bit. It was like I got on stage, had no idea what I was doing, but I enjoyed the backstage sort of atmosphere of the girls. And from there, it was just like no turning back, you know? I just loved it. I loved the shape. I loved seeing what your body could do.
And what division did you do? Figure?
Figure.
Okay, awesome. So how did you feel going in the transition from
Figure?
And also just the fact that a team sport going into something that's individual. Now you're on, you know, from an athlete, which is still an athlete is figure, but putting on some heels. How was that transition between the two?
The good thing is I didn't have like stage nerves or like butterfly. I guess we all get butterflies, but I didn't have that nervousness or like that anxiety because I was so used to competing and sort of talking myself through the mindset of competing. Even with like track, it is a team sport, but it's very individualized.
Yes.
So you're on the track, you're in the start, you're ready for the gun, and you're talking to yourself in that time. And so sort of getting that mindset was good. So the transition was easy in that respect, but it was difficult because it was really just me and I didn't have anybody else to show up for. Like I didn't want to run my best race so that we could get these points and we could, win the championship. So that was different.
Okay.
How about your first competition ever, Julia? Where was it and how did you feel on stage?
It was funny. I was just, I just know I wanted to compete. When I saw it first, I wanted to do that too, but I knew that I cannot start with bodybuilding, obviously. So my coach told me, so let's try to shoot for figure. I was like, okay, cool. And then it turned out that the Physique division came up just in 2013. So, and I matched because it was a ratio between height and weight back then. And I matched this, so I started in Physique division and it was awesome.
You liked it? You loved your first stage experience?
Yes. It was just, it was really magic for me. The whole process, the start of the training to get there, the stage itself, it was, and it was just wonderful. And I how do you say, I got addicted to it.
So you started it also in figure? I know you said you went from women's physique, you thought about figure.
Yes, I was planning figure, but then women's physique came up.
I got it.
I started in
They're like,
physique.
whoops, you're too muscular now, get over here. Talking about magic, Julia, you did something amazing. You acted in a movie that was shot in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, or released. It was called Pearl, right? Can you give us a quick summary of what is the movie about? Because I know that the theme is it's about a female bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
So give us a short summary.
Yeah, we shot it back in 2017.
Okay.
And it's about the question of, having kids, being a woman and still competing and how to combine it and the feelings. And it talks a bit about the behind of all the stage and the bodybuilding. It was which made it interesting for me because at that point, I knew there was a lot of, like negativity out there for female bodybuilding and stuff. And I first also, denied to act in a movie because I feared that it's going to be something like this. But when Elsa Amiel, she's the producer, I've talked with her and I realized that it's very interesting, the topic, that it's more about the feelings behind what's it to be a female bodybuilder.
Okay, so it's emotions, right? It's the emotion and the feelings that you have as a woman, even if you're a female bodybuilder or not. But do you feel that the movie portrayed the women's bodybuilding division in a positive light?
For me, as I got more into it. Meanwhile, I think it's a bit maybe too dramatic for myself.
Okay.
As I see, there's a lot of women which are combining family and children and everything so good in this these days. But I think that's the essence of the movie. It really underlines that drama. So it's not, for me, it's not totally accurate. I see it a bit more chilled.
Yeah.
myself.
Well, I do believe that it was maybe the perspective, of course, of the director, because the director thought that being such an extreme athlete, because you look so extreme, this doesn't mean that you're gonna have like feelings or a normal life or emotions like a normal person. So to them, maybe this is the clash they wanted to bring out, right? But I feel like the movie was a little gritty and dark. Don't you feel that?
It's very dark. Yes, it is. That's why I said it's very dramatic. So where I think in real life, as to really be a female bodybuilder, it's less of that negativity and drama.
It's our normal life, but people perceive us differently, right? They perceive us through the way we look, and then they think of us like that as well.
That's what we're working on, really working on changing.
Yes.
The perception
We
of
wanna
women
change that
bodybuilders.
stigma.
Yes, totally.
Absolutely. But I want
that's
to...
what you're doing. I mean, just to point it out here, like I think you did a huge impact already on how female bodybuilders look these days.
Yes.
With the whole Wheel of Strength. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely. We do
amazing.
that, and we do it with your help, ladies, with all of you out there. We wouldn't be able to do it without you following this
That's the
trend and
truth.
being so beautiful. But anyway, I want to congratulate you for that movie, because I read some reviews and everybody said that you're a natural on
That
camera.
you're a natural.
Actually, you really acted well in the few scenes that I saw from the movie.
Thank you so much. It's a big honor.
Absolutely. And we're going to be back with more questions for you, ladies, after this commercial break.
And we're back. Let me start with something. So, Sheena, in regards to relationships or the type of man you would date, what's your perfect partner? What does he look like or she look like?
The perfect partner isn't necessarily about the looks. I do appreciate somebody who respects a healthy lifestyle and a fit lifestyle. I think that we owe it to one another to be healthy and well and have well bodies. But the perfect partner is funny and likes food.
Okay. Likes food. I like that.
Likes food when you diet.
But you know what the crazy thing is? I am totally okay if my partner is eating, if I'm dieting and they're eating. I'm like, just let me smell it. Go get the cheesecake. Go get the donut.
Right. I remember that.
I'll be okay.
Absolutely. But would you be able to date somebody that has nothing to do with the gym?
Yeah.
Doesn't touch your weight, no
Abs or no
athleticism,
abs?
nothing.
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, I hate to sound superficial, but probably not. Just because if they don't have any sort of attachment to working out, the gym, lifting weights, they don't necessarily have to have abs, but
Right.
I need them to be familiar with the gym and enjoy it because it's such a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, right?
That's very smart.
How about you, Julia?
Well, I definitely don't need abs. I don't need a bodybuilder.
Right. That's smart. I understand.
No, it's just for me. I tried different things, and for me, what's important is someone which has the self-confidence to live with what I do and let me do it, because I know what I want and who I want to be, and it takes a lot of self-confidence for a man too, I think, to be with a female bodybuilder.
Oh yeah.
And you guys aren't just female bodybuilders, you're world champions. So that even in itself, meeting someone in the gym that's maybe not as accomplished as you, that could be a challenge for some. I've seen that in the sport where women are maybe the Miss Olympia champion and dating someone that maybe looks good, or even competing as an IFBB pro. So that also can be challenging for us.
Yeah,
Yeah. Seems like you.
Well, I just think
you figure it out as you go. You sort of,
yes,
navigate that terrain as you go day by day.
Yeah, navigate that terrain.
Sheena, tell us about one thing that's on your bucket list.
Bucket list.
One thing, the most important thing on your bucket list right now. At 36.
The most important thing on the bucket list is Miss Olympia, first of all.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
That's the most important bucket list. But I would say for like fun bucket lists, skydiving.
You haven't done skydiving yet?
I haven't done skydiving
Oh,
yet.
you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I've done one of those like indoor skydiving where you sort of like put a suit on and it's like a tunnel and they like blow the air at you and you go up, but like actually jumping out of a plane, no, but that's on the bucket list.
I plan to take Lenda on a skydiving
yeah, I know
session
Alina,
next
she
time.
does everything. I don't think there's anything you've not done.
Seriously?
Yeah, she's very active. She is like always go, go, go. I mean, she's already got a trip planned. It's something exciting.
Yeah, you're gonna be part of it.
Yes,
You're
all
gonna
right.
be part of it. Julia, what's the most beautiful thing you have visited on Earth? The most beautiful place?
That's hard to say because I think the world is full of beauty.
But one that you have been at, yeah. One you visited.
For me, one of my big passion is scuba diving, and I think I still have to go in this, like the cenotes in Mexico. That was a big thing I did, and I never seen something like, like in the middle of the jungle, just a hole, and the water is so clear. That was really that was one of the most beautiful things, I think, besides millions of others. It's hard to say, but this is something,
I love it. Sheena, I want to know one thing that nobody would expect about you. Come on, shock me.
You guys have to promise not to tell anybody else.
Okay,
yeah.
it stays
Just tell
between
us.
us.
Just here. We'll keep it here.
I absolutely adore show tunes.
What?
So all of the songs from all of the like musicals and the theater, like I love Chicago, like Grease, like all of those. I'm just like obsessed with it.
Oh, wow.
I guess you wouldn't think that about me, but absolutely.
Oh, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
And what about you, Julia?
Well, I know something about Julia that I would like to bring up, and that's fashion. Tell us about your experience with fashion, because you have a degree, don't you?
Yes, I studied fashion design, actually, yes. That's something a lot of people, some know it, but the ones who don't know, they would never think that.
What exactly, do you have a specialty? Did you specialize in something?
Yes, I specialized in fur and leather.
Okay, I like
Nice
that.
combination.
Just to announce here, I was always very aware of where it comes from and what kind of fur, and it's just a material which makes a lot of sense if you treat it right. So that's my passion.
So are you working in that department as well?
I did, and I stopped now for years, but I'm just right now getting back into it because I missed it. I really missed it. And it's I'm at the point in my life where kind of everything comes together, and it includes the decision to go for bodybuilding. I feel like I found myself a bit more these days.
So you have do you have any fashion tips for athletic, I want to say athletic women?
We obviously can wear leather, but how
Right,
would you
definitely.
wear fur with the leather to show our bodies?
Of course we
Well, you can
can. I
add.
think we can wear everything. That's the fun about it.
So we're going to see some exciting attire from you. Probably a
Well, I mean, myself, I'm not like the type of showing up. I mean,
Yeah,
you see, like,
yeah.
I'm wearing black mostly.
okay.
But I like fancy jewelry for myself, for
I
example.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
Sheena, where do you plan to make your pro debut this year in bodybuilding? Well, no, you already did it. Which shows are you going to compete this year in?
So we're planning on Chicago Pro, and
Chicago.
unless any changes have been made to the schedule, I think that's the end of July.
Yes.
As the first show, and then Tampa. So that'll be exciting to go back to Tampa and do women's bodybuilding, where I placed 5th in women's physique, and then Savannah. I was considering Toronto, but I think that's like during a weird part of the month
Yeah.
versus where Toronto is, or Savannah. So for right now, then it's Chicago, Tampa, and Savannah.
And all of them qualifying you for the Olympia.
There you go.
That's
And-
it.
Exactly. And what kind of package do you envision having on stage?
Definitely athletic, because I think there's a difference between just like your built bodybuilders and then like your athletic bodybuilders.
Yep.
So what I'm hoping to bring, what I'm planning to bring, the strategy is, that very athletic flow, the popped shoulders, the tiny waist, and just really bring some density to my back. I think that's probably, my legs and my back are one of my favorite areas to train, but I really want to bring something unique with, the development of my back, and to see how that looks compared to a year ago where I was only, planning for physique. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I can hardly wait to see it.
Yeah,
How
no
about
restrictions
you,
now.
Julia? Where are you competing this year?
I'm super excited. I mean, for me, I'm gonna do Tampa, which I never.
You're gonna be competitors on
I know,
stage
you're gonna
against
say
each
yeah.
other.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
yeah, me too. It's just such a huge honor. Like for me, it's a life goal. Like finally to be able to step on stage in the female bodybuilding division, and I'm very excited. I'm gonna do Tampa. I'm not sure what's going on with Spain. I consider Spain, and I'm going back to Romania finally.
Yes. We can hardly wait to see you on the Romania Muscle Fest stage this year too.
Me too. Such a great show. Thank you.
How about your package? What do you think you're gonna look like? What did you improve from your previous show?
I'm working on everything, kind of. Of course, I have to really improve my conditioning. My conditioning was always kind of a problem. This is what we are really working on, like to bring conditioning in the legs. And I'm also working on my back a lot right now. But mainly, I focus on bringing up the legs and bringing the conditioning.
Yeah, I know I'm really excited about the women physique competitors coming and transitioning into bodybuilding because what I saw in women's physique is you guys were always conditioned. You were great entertainers on stage, and just like a well-rounded package. So I'm so excited what 2021 will hold.
Absolutely. We're excited to see you on stage, thickening up the lines of the female bodybuilding division.
Yes.
And we
Such
want
an honor.
to thank you guys for being here with us today. And we want to wish you good luck in this season. We are really proud to have you on our team of the Wings of
We
Strength
are.
brand ambassadors. and we are really excited to see your package this year on a stage. The pressure's on you.
Yes, I know. We get
You
to
better
sit
come in
and watch.
best
And we're
shape
gonna be
you've
we're
ever.
sitting there with our glasses and our pens and excited. So it's nice. And eating. We'll eat for you.
And do the critique on your bodies.
That's right.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, you guys. It was such a pleasure, and it's just really an honor. We're going to do everything that we can to make you guys proud and to continue to help women's bodybuilding grow and continue moving forward,
Yes.
and perpetuating that strength for women and the girls coming out.
Yep.
you
Examples
so
for the
And,
world.
and say thank you so much too. It's like I said, the impact you have on this sport is just amazing, and it's such a pleasure to see it, and the biggest honor to be part of it. It's
Yes.
really come true.
Yeah, you guys
Thank you so much.
make it worth it. Like I can look back and we definitely cannot. It takes a team, and so we all play our role. And so now we're passing the baton to you guys, and looking forward to seeing you on stage and representing women's bodybuilding. Thank you for joining FemFlex
Thank you so
Friday, and we will see you guys on the Olympia stage.